We're going to start with air. So air elementals are people who can influence any gas on the periodic table. Now, does that mean that they have to know the exact content and concentration of gas molecules in the air in order to manipulate it? Not necessarily. However, being able to identify those things and being able to know kind of the composition and how those molecules work in real life gives them an advantage on how they're able to control the air around them. Now let's go to water. Water elementals, very simple. They control water molecules to a T. Now here's where the kind of separation of Avatar and my book really start to take place. Manipulating water molecules is just the movement of water. So say for instance in Avatar: The Last Airbender, water benders can make ice, right? Here in my book, water elementals cannot make ice unless two things. One, either they're able to manipulate the water molecules and condense them so tightly that they create ice at room temperature, or they also have the fire element. Yes, quick side note, people can have multiple elements in my book. So that segues me to the next element, fire. Fire elementals are unique in that they do not manipulate anything physically. So fire elementals manipulate the movement of energy, which then translates to the manipulation of heat. The sudden addition or sudden subtraction of energy is what causes the manipulation of temperature. So if a water elemental wasn't skilled enough to compact those water molecules tight enough to make ice at room temperature, if they also had the fire element, or if they were working together with someone who had the fire element, that person would be able to manipulate the temperature of the water. Mind you, I think one thing I forgot to mention was that the manipulation of energy is only for inorganic material, nothing living. Now we go to Earth. Earth, as you may have already guessed, is the opposite of air. Earth elementals in my book can control any metal on the periodic table. Earth is pretty much the same as air. In a sense, not knowing the exact molecular composition of whatever you're moving, the Earth's soil, doesn't mean that you won't be able to manipulate it. By far, Earth is probably, I would say, the hardest element to master in my book, only because there's so many metals. Molecular composition is so different for everything. There's so many things to research, and just understanding how those metals react with other elements. And when I say elements, I'm not talking about powers. I'm talking about literally elements like on the periodic table. How they interact with other elements is something that it takes a lot of studying. The fifth element that isn't implemented in Avatar. Life elementals can control the hormones of plants and fungus. This allows them to manipulate the growth of a plant, allows them to manipulate the shape of a plant. Given the proper research, it could also be used to manipulate how exactly that plant interacts with other things. I know this video was brief and might leave a lot of room for questions, which is actually something that I want. Ask those as well. And if this video leaves you asking more and more questions about like, what does this mean? What is going on? Please stay tuned, because I have a lot of future videos that I'll be going into depth of how these things work. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to giving you guys some more info on this.